How's it going, guys? Sorry from Drunk Guy Explains, and actually we're doing this video to kind of answer some questions for Systems 33. He's running a computer program with this and actually showing some really positive data, I think, reading the comment streams of how it goes, and he's basically asking for a little bit more questions so he can really give some draw numbers for this system. So the first question is, what's the minimum bet? And what's the maximum bet, max payout? So in this table of systems, this is a $10 table. So that means that $10 is the minimum. Now the max bet for against the house is $3,000. Now the hitters that I go to in Cherokee and in River Valley for primary and for most places I go, whatever the max bet is for the dues is usually the max bet for the don'ts scaled to where its payout is. So for instance, if the max bet on this table is $3,000, then the max lay I can do is $6,000 on the 4 and 10. And obviously, I won't be doing a bankroll as that, but there's been times where I've had a bankroll big enough where I've made $4,000 or $5,000, and I've actually had to lay a $6,000 lay. So that's the biggest thing, is that $6,000 lay on the 4 and 10, which is a $150 VIG. So that's where that max is. The minimum lay is $40 with a $1 VIG. The maximum is a $6,000 lay with a $150 VIG. So boom. So 10 and 10. What else we got here? Players bankroll. We just went over that. I do a $5,000 bankroll, and that's to utilize all the systems I have in this overarching system in place. Next is going to be bankroll related conditions, when to stop. So essentially, for me, depending on what your outcome is, a lot of times I say play more conservative the more money you want to make, because you need to start really tightening up as the hours go on. For me, if I'm walking in with 5,000 bankroll, I'm stopping at 500. 10% investment, usually within the first hour. I don't like to be there more than 2 hours or something like that, but generally speaking, I'm walking in there, I want to walk out at 10% profit. That's really small, it's really rigid, that's actually really controlled. You could easily make more. Generally speaking, if I'm going to be there with friends playing blackjack, or we're playing poker, or I'm just have to be there at the casino, I'm going to make more. So, and then the last but not least is explain the fire bet martingale, how much and why. So, if you've seen in other videos, and hopefully you have, the fire bet is starting to lose its luster in casinos. You know, a lot of times they don't want to stop action to fill out a W2G. It slows down the game a little bit. Now, so they actually play a licensing fee on the actual name fire bet. So that's kind of funny. But anyways, essentially, I'm using their system as a marker. I'm not actually betting with the fire bet. I'm not. What I'm doing is I'm realizing that the casino will pay $25 to a $1 prop on the fourth point different point made. They'll pay $250 to 1 and then $1,000 to 1. So essentially, systems, what I'm doing is that I'm essentially just counting how many different points are made, and if the fourth point, whatever it is, I want the payout to be 25. And that's hard because, so for instance, if the fourth, let's say you've made the 4, 5, 6, and now we're on the 8. Well, to make 25, I generally speaking, if the point's an 8, it's now in the fourth one. I need to see here, I always have an offsetting. So if I'm looking at this and say I need to make 25 bucks, well, 30 gives me 24 bucks. So generally speaking, I'd probably do a $30 don't. Now, if I was on the 9 and I would get paid 30, so I'd probably do a $90. 90 pays 60. So I actually would say here, 75, 85, 90. I do a 90 that pays 60. Oh, excuse me, blah. I'm so sorry. I would do a 60, which would actually pay 40. You know, play with the numbers, but basically you're trying to get for a 25 to 1. Depends on what your bankroll is too. If I'm starting out kind of semi-fresh and I still have my 5,000 bankroll, I'm not going to be sitting here getting too crazy. I'm going to keep it low, because let's say if I just walked into a table, I see 3 fire bets have been made, the point is at 8. I'm probably just going to do 20 and get paid 16. Let's say if I lose that 20, well then point comes off, points made, the next one, let's say we had 9. I know I'm lost 20, well this pays 250 to 1. So I'm going to make back my 20, but also sit here and juice it for that 250 as well. So I'll probably, for a 9, let's say I do 150. lose that, and come back. And when I've lost that point, for the 6th point, you'd actually see me come down and actually put 25s as the mins to help juice up my don't pass odds. And the last point was a 10. I'd probably put either 500 or something around that, like 500 right here. And then let's say, even worst case scenario, I'll lose that. And now they have made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 points. That 7th point, let's say it goes back to a 4. When the point was off, I'd be sitting here putting 100, 100. And then come back and maybe do, let's just say 2,000. And you can see what I'm doing. Essentially, if you want to play really tight, you want your payouts to be, the winning for the don't should be equal to 25 to 1 on the 4th point, should be equal to 250 to 1 on the 5th point, 1,000 to 1 on the 6th point. Now, obviously, depending on how it goes, let's just say 25 to 1 for payout, 250 to 1. This one, generally speaking, I've already lost, generally speaking, around 250. I'll probably do 1,000 to 1. Realistically, do 1,000 to 1 on that. And then if I have to, I'll come back and do a $3,000 don't or something like that. You know, it just depends on how it's going to roll. And that's essentially all the questions for right now. Now, if there's any other question systems, please let me know. If you guys got any systems, let me know. And once again, this is a supplemental to the other one. So if you see this one, you're kind of confused, go back and see the fundamentals one and then come back and watch this one. Appreciate it, guys, and check you next time.